Hi, I'm Tommy with Between the Buried and Me, and you're listening to Metal As Kvlt on 90.7 FM.
Metal As Kvlt.
So we're here talking to the man who was recently voted by Terrorizer magazine readers as having the most badass name in all of metal. I am, of course, talking about Thomas Giles Rogers Jr. Hey, Tommy, what's up?
Oh yeah, I didn't even know that existed. Did they really say that?
Well, perhaps not. We'll have to do our research into that. It's certainly an extreme name in metal, though.
It is very.
So you guys have just released the Parallax Hypersleep dialogues, and I've got to ask, what names were rejected as just being too simplistic?
Yeah, we decided to confuse everybody and make sure that the album was something nobody could actually say twice.
I think
that was a goal of ours.
In true metal fashion, it has to be inaccessible and alienating, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Any rejected album names you want to share with us?
There was many, but I can't remember them. It always takes us forever to come up with a CD title, and there's always lists and lists of things that just don't work out at all. But unfortunately, that list is not in front of me right now.
Oh, that's
that would
okay.
be fun to read off to everybody.
Well, it's early in the morning over here for us. I don't know what time it is for you, but we understand. Now, there's been a lot of buzz about this release being a concept album. We won't ask you to reiterate the story because I'm sure you've said that a million times in interviews so far.
Yes, I have.
But, see, we do our research, but what are some of the challenges involved in articulating a concept primarily through growled vocals? Because you construct an elaborate narrative, but isn't something lost in reality that most fans won't understand what you're actually singing?
Well, that's what it's lyrics. I don't know. I think when people actually sit down and read the lyrics and with the vocals, it's not as crazy sounding as it seems. And I don't know. I think it was something fun to do for us and for me as someone that writes lyrics. It was very. I was outside of my comfort zone for sure, kind of sticking to one story within a record, but the main goal for me was I wanted to create a story that fit the music. Like you said, it is growling and it is a heavy record, and I wanted to make sure the story felt very dark and things what was going on made sense with the music as well. I didn't want things to be random, and I'm pleased with how it came out for sure as far as that goes.
So which came first, the music or the story?
Well, the story idea we had way before the music, but I always try to wait till the music's done before I start putting vocals and lyrics to it.
Sure.
There's an interesting moment in the track Augment of Rebirth in which a chicken is sampled over a polka breakdown. I'm just wondering what the relevance of this is to the story. Is there some sort of agricultural subtext to these dialogues?
There's not. I mean, that's a loophole. That's a loophole in the story.
Just in between the buried and the zaniness.
Yeah, exactly. We just that part felt right for that moment in the song, and the chickens and all the farm animals. That was kind of a last minute idea we had. And we're like, even though we know it's not really part of the concept, it shows who we are. I guess we are a bunch of balls, and it felt right for the part. I'm glad we did it.
Well, it might not be as last minute as you think. We'll get to that in just a second. But so you're telling us there's no little farmer boy story, or there's nothing like that?
There's not as of now, but I think I need to, find a way in the second half just to make it so I don't look like a hypocrite,
Yes, that's right. Glad we could be part of the creative process. Now, the track "Disease, Injury, Madness" from the great Misdirect featured a horse sampling. Augment of Rebirth.
It did.
Augment of Rebirth features a chicken. Is there some band in-joke that we're not aware of? And what livestock can we expect on future albums?
It's not something we plan on doing, but it's happened. I'm trying to think if there's anything on older records. On Colors, there's monkeys.
How about
so
that?
Yeah, I guess
the
last. Yeah, I guess the last three records we've had animal sounds. I don't know. I guess we're all very connected with animals.
Perhaps perhaps on your website, or make like a poll or a forum, to the fans. What animals would you guys like to hear next? Personally, a dolphin screech would be, I think, fitting.
That would work. Yeah,
So,
we can do that. Maybe next record we have to create like a part that sounds right for a dolphin. So it'll have to be the most lame part ever written.
Hey, dolphins are majestic, beautiful, and intelligent creatures.
Movie. Exactly.
Well, let's talk about the band's songwriting methods. Musically, Between the Buried and Me just demonstrate proficiency in a vast array of styles. How calculated is the inclusion or exclusion of some of these influences during the writing process?
What we mean to say is, for example, Colours, it had a lot of amazing transitions and things that completely came out of left field. But it's hard to imagine you guys sitting around in studio jamming and then suddenly like, oh yeah, this is a great kind of thrash metal riff. Oh, you know what will come next? A polka breakdown. That seems rather... Is that calculated? Surely it doesn't happen spontaneously.
No, it's definitely calculated. I mean, everything we do is... we spend probably more than most bands... We spend more on one song than most bands probably do on an album. I don't know. When we write, we record as well. So, we really... I would say overanalyze our songs for sure, because we do jump genres, we do a lot of things out of left field, and but at the same time we want the song to feel like a song. We want things to flow naturally, and there's been many times that we have parts that just don't work. That happens constantly, and I think just having that, just knowing when that time is right, is when it matters, because we don't want to sound random, and we don't want things to feel awkward. We still want things to be comfortable, even though they are a little different from each other.
Well, it is a... Sorry, go on.
I was just saying, we have, unlike a lot of bands, we all write, and we all, bring something to the table, and I think we all have a very distinct writing style, and I think that's why our songs are so eclectic, I guess, would be the word. And, it's fun to write that way. It always has, and I think with each record we kind of get more comfortable with what we're trying to do, and we slowly start to understand what each of us are thinking, even though we think we're all crazy.
Well, it's certainly fun to listen to. It's an interesting, it's an interesting phenomenon, because you say we don't want it to sound awkward and not natural. It doesn't sound natural, but it does work really well. These transitions. Like that, a polka breakdown in the middle of a 14-minute progressive metal song, you can't say it sounds natural, but it does work really well. Yeah. It's still amazing transition. So it's really interesting what you guys have achieved doing that. So
I think it's just what sounds natural in our heads, even though that probably doesn't work for everyone. But yeah.
All right. So you're calling me a musical idiot. Fair enough. No, I'm not. I'm not as talented as you.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying we're actually idiots, and we
no,
think
you're geniuses.
Think like we think.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Now, since the release of Colours, your fans have probably come to expect a degree of musical spontaneity on every record. Do you feel a pressure to be musically unpredictable?
Definitely, yeah. It's something we try not to think about, because I don't want something like that to affect our writing, or I don't want it to force us to do things we would naturally do, and I don't know, we've always kind of just done our thing. When we write, we don't plan what the record's going to sound like. We kind of start from scratch and go from there, and we'll always do that. And hopefully we'll always be kind of keeping people on their toes and giving our fans what they expect. And I'm sure we'll disappoint here and there, but that's life, and we do what we do as best as we can.
Sure.
We're just wondering, do you have a pet name for the Between the Buried and Me groupies? The Exhumed, perhaps?
We don't really have groupies, but no, we don't have pet names.
No groupies in a progressive metal band?
I know,
it's a sad day in music industry.
I know. I cry myself to sleep every night because of it.
Now, we share your pain. Now, we understand that you actually recently made a guest appearance on Devin Townsend's upcoming album Deconstruction. Tell us how that collaboration came about.
Well, we toured together last year, and I actually met him in '06 at Ozfest, and we kind of slowly became good friends. And after the tour, we definitely share a lot of musical interests and similarities. And I've been a huge fan of his, probably since high school. He's in my eyes today is still one of the best metal vocalists of all time, and he just he emailed me out of the blue, asked me if I wanted to do it, and of course I couldn't say no, and I'm very, very honored and excited that I'm on the record, and the record is ridiculous, and I'm very stoked for what people are going to think of it, because it's a very, very unique record, and I think he's done a great job, and I'm excited for him
Well, any album with a 16-minute song called "The Mighty Masturbator" has to be an interesting record.
Exactly.
I feel.
And it's a gnarly record. It's cool. There's a lot of talk about keeping you on your toes for sure.
Yeah, we have quite a bit of a fan club here at Metal As Kvlt regarding Devin.
Well, I was going to ask, did you contribute clean vocals or growled or both?
It's all screaming.
Ah, cool.
So, yeah, it's a heavy record, man. It's I think that's what the goal of that record was, to just create a over the top, freaking in your face metal record. So he succeeded for sure.
And what can you tell us about Devin as a person? Like, is he actually nuts, or is he just a brilliant actor?
No, he's literally one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. He's super genuine. He really, really, truly loves what he does, and he loves playing music, and he loves his fans, and he couldn't be happier. And he's a very positive dude. It's kind of refreshing to be around him, to be honest. And he's a genius. And he's his mind works a million miles a minute, and that is proven by all the music he writes. And yeah, I wouldn't say he's crazy at all. He's a super.
We mean that in the most affectionate way possible.
Yes,
Exactly.
Lovingly eccentric, we'd say. Now, has he been getting any of our fan mail? Did he mention anything about that? Any Metal As Kvlt fan mail? Did he mention any of the fan mail we've been sending him? There was no mention of that, I assume.
No, he is not. He is not.
Ah, my heart is broken yet again. All right, so you've just you've just released Parallax, the Hypersleep dialogues. This was the sort of the prelude to a full-length release, I understand. When is the next album out?
Mm-hmm.
That's the question on everyone's lips now.
Who knows? It might be 1 year. It might be 70 years.
Oh, wow.
So it'll be sometime between those two.
All right. Well,
so the concept. Are you comfortable with the concept as how it's going to be expressed on the next album?
Yeah. We kind of have a small idea of what's going to happen. I'm actually looking forward to kind of figuring it all out and having fun with it. And yeah, we're going to hopefully start writing sometime this year. And I don't know. In all seriousness, hopefully the next year or two it'll be out. So we'll see. Unless some sort of horrible writer's block happens, we should be good.
Do you have any plans to tour Australia in support of the EP release?
We need to. Yeah, we want to really bad. We were hoping to do it this year. we were hoping to do it this year, but it didn't pan out. And I assume next year we'll be over there for sure. I don't see why we wouldn't.
We look forward to having you. Our final question for the interview. Thank you very much. You've been a great sport. Our final question is, on The Great Misdirect, the concluding track was Swim to the Moon. Is this a whimsical track? Is it an instructional track? What is swimming to the moon?
How should fans interpret those lyrics?
Has anyone in the band ever swum to the moon?
No, we haven't. I don't know. It's about a guy basically leaving his life to go off to sea, and he kind of wakes up and he's realized that he's in the middle of nowhere and he's probably going to die. But actually the new record picks up where that left off, so you find out he doesn't die.
Are you aware that NASA has filed a lawsuit against the band regarding misleading statements?
Yes, and we have lawyers on it, and we're obviously we're a lot bigger than NASA, and nobody even really knows who they are.
Lars Ulrich is getting in on this lawsuit. He is the lawsuit master, so he'll be chipping in one way or another. Well, thank you very much, Tommy. We're really appreciative of your time, and thank you a lot for speaking to us. It's been a great interview. We wish you all the best. The new EP is it's fantastic, and we're really excited to have you here in Australia and hear the new album, hopefully before the next 70 years, okay?
Same here, yeah. Thank you. We'll hopefully see you guys soon in Australia for sure.
All right, thank you, Tommy.
Thank you very much, Tommy.
Have a good day, mate.
All right, you too. Thanks, bye.